What do you think I can do with my stimulus check? Buy a big screen TV? Hello guys, welcome back to East West Picayune, and this is Janet. And in this video, I would like to show you how Americans can best use this stimulus check. Provision that I want to talk about, which interests a lot of us, is direct payment. And part of this $2 trillion stimulus package from the US government is a one-time cash payment of $1,200 for single filers with adjusted gross income below $75,000, or head of the household with adjusted gross income below $112,000, and of course married couples who file jointly and have a adjusted gross income below $150,000. Then they are gonna get $2,400 plus. If you have children, you are going to get an extra $500 per child as long as you claim that as dependent in your taxes. So this stimulus check is extra money that we don't expect to have. Therefore, we want to use this money wisely. Okay. What are the smart ways to use this stimulus check? I have 5 different ways. So first is strategize before spending this money. So I think most of us already received their money, and I hope y'all didn't touch it yet. Start by necessity, so like food, utilities, rent, mortgage, car payment, things like that. This money is really allocated for that and not to be spent frivolously for anything that you don't need. First, okay? This is, of course, if you are one of those people that get furloughed or you got laid off, okay, because of the virus. And what you need to do is probably write down a budget, and this helps you visualize where the money going or being spent. Now, of course, if you are one of the fortunate one that doesn't rely on this stimulus check or money, then listen to this. Fund an emergency fund. It is very important for us to have an emergency fund, and this serves as a cushion during crises like this. And it is best to have at least 4 to 6 months worth of emergency fund or expenses stashed away. So this basically how it works. If you have expenses of, let's say, $2,000 a month, you need to have at least $8,000 to $12,000 as an emergency fund. So if you don't have this money right now as a cushion, you need to think about maybe putting some of this money into the emergency fund. And having an emergency fund really reduces one's stress level. And this COVID-19 crisis is a very good example. So if one has an emergency fund in place, getting furloughed or getting terminated may be less stressful than a person who lives paycheck to paycheck. Having an emergency fund will keep you from making bad financial decisions, such as borrowing high interest loans, fees and penalties, or charging an emergency car repair to a credit card, things like that. So if you have money set aside at this time and you got furloughed and you have money to dip into to use for your basic necessity. What are the common surprise expenses or emergency expenses that we may have? One is medical bills. Okay, so if you happen to get sick, you need to pay your copay or your co-insurance or whatever it may be. Job loss, that's another thing. Car repairs, okay? Home repair. What if you got a leaky roof and you need to fix the roof, so you have an emergency fund to dip into to fix the roof. How about unplanned travel expenses? So if a family member gets sick and you need to travel from point A to point B, like an airline travel, we're talking about a lot of money for that. But of course, right now with COVID-19, you probably can fly really cheap right now. Next one is pay off debt, such as credit card or student loan. So according to Karen Wallace, she is the director of investor education of Morningstar. Paying down high interest debt is a guaranteed way to improve your net worth. And this is very true. Okay, you have no debt, then what you do is now you have all this extra money that you can just suck away to a savings, to invest. So it is really true. And being debt free gives me a sense of freedom. So you can, at one point, you may just say, I have enough money and I can retire, and that's it. So you don't have to be answering to a boss anymore, to a company that you will be working for 8 to 5. So that is really good, right? And credit card also has a high interest rate, if you all know that. And some of them charge up to 30% a year. So if you have $100 of debt, just imagine $30 of that is interest for a year. So I suggest, if you have extra money from the stimulus check, go ahead, pay down some of your credit card debt. You don't have to pay them all, but set aside some money for that. Next, and which I have done, is fund a Roth IRA. And you can use part of the stimulus check to do that. If you, again, like I said, if you're one of those fortunate ones, then you could do that. I actually used about $500 of this money to fund my 2019 Roth contribution. I'll only put $250 every 2 weeks to this. So at the end of the year, I usually have about $500 that I need to put in to meet my maximum contribution. Last one is do some home project or start a new hobby. Being quarantined, you probably felt like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You get bored. So go paint a room. Why not, right? I mean, paint should not be that expensive. Do some gardening, landscape your front yard, or try a new hobby such as cooking, sewing, things like that. So if you do love to cook, try a new recipe. Maybe use some of the stimulus money to buy, I don't know, a new mixer and start to learn how to bake, things like that. So these are the things that perk you up, okay? Gives you a little positive feeling towards yourself, like give you a little bit more self-confidence and make you feel good thing. Well, this is it, folks. So what did you do with your stimulus money? Did you do what I did? Did you fund a Roth IRA? Did you start a hobby? Comment down below. Let me know what you did with this money. And please share this video to at least one person. Subscribe to my channel, East West Picayune. Follow in Facebook and Instagram. And click on the bell button up there so you can be notified of future videos. Keep smiling to keep the positive energy flowing. Until next time, bye! If you haven't gotten your check, all you have to do is go to irs.gov/coronavirus/get my payment.